like you just said, like piecing together. So it's all coming more and more together. Like I'm understanding it more.
Nice, nice. I just realized I forgot to record this. Duh.
Oh,
Dang.
oh, this is a good one.
Uh,
Oh,
always
wow.
miss the good stuff. Let's go back and let's rewind and tell
Yeah,
it all. Sorry, I'm a one-track mind. That's a failure of an academic person. I have this one-track mind. I want to go do this thing. Sorry. Okay, I just now started recording for what we got.
Oh, my. Stuff.
This was a very good conversation, though. I like it.
Yes, yes. I just regret that I wasn't able to get into the reading to be more involved in the conversation.
Well, but the conversation will help you then look at the reading.
That's so true.
It's
So true.
flows back and forth and back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yes. Yeah.
Education is not a simple line. It
Right.
is sometimes we have to experience something before we can really think about it.
Yes.
So
I
that's
agree.
which is why I should have recorded it. Okay.
Right?
And it's hell not being perfect. I want to tell you that.
I know, right?
So let me throw at you some of these terms. Let me quick take a picture of this screen so I can really share that with people. Pardon me. Okay. And I want to go to a bunch of these fancy words that are I've outlined in my paper that I'm sure you're going to want to read now before Friday.
Mhm.
The first one is supersessionism. Anybody can pick up what supersessionism is? Now, these are all ideas that are the underlying pieces of the ideas that white people are superior to everybody else.
It's replacement theology. It's a Christian doctrine which asserts the covenant through Jesus Christ. Supersuades the old covenant.
Yeah, the old covenant with who?
Jewish people. Something about like Jewish
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So the Jews were God's chosen people in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
But they rejected Jesus, so to speak. So therefore, that old God was no longer their protector. Now the Christians are the new covenant as the chosen people. It's a lie. That's not absolutely true. There's a whole lot of let's say complexity in that first 400 years of the Christian movement and the response of the Jewish people. But there was never any indication that God disavowed the Jews or doesn't love the Jews anymore. And
Right.
like Paula's idea the other day of God loves everybody,
Mhm.
just has to deal with them differently because they're different,
Right.
like your kids.
Like your kids.
I really like that analogy. So it basically, they were replaced. And then what happens, of course, when the Europeans became the dominant Christians, the idea became of the Anglo-Saxons, it's the European Christians who are the chosen people. which then leads them right on up to the Pilgrims and the Puritans and Americans right now. We are God's favorite people. Yeah.
You know what? I think it was Ben Franklin or Thomas Jefferson. One of them said that. That's what I'll say about the reading. Is I knew that Thomas Jefferson was racist. I never really heard too much about Ben Franklin being racist, but his remarks, I can believe it. I can
Yeah.
believe
Yeah,
it.
I hadn't seen that until I read that chapter either. I was surprised, but yeah, it was.
It's almost like surprise, not surprise, because when you think
Yeah.
about the time in which they existed, well, yeah, it's just the lies that we've been told all of our life about history and so forth. So.
Right. Last night there was a conversation with about with the author at the Empower West. Had a discussion with the author Robert Jones and his book, White Too Long, and he took that quote from the first quote I gave you from Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in response to that conversation, Dr. Cosby says somebody, I've forgotten who, told a story of you're baking a cake and you forget to put in the sugar. You pull that cake out of the oven, you let it cool, you taste it, and it's too late. The bitter flavor is baked in. So that's his notion, is this whole underlying sense of white supremacy is baked into American thought, culture, beliefs, attitudes, behaviors. We can't get rid of it.
Yes.
It's hard to get rid of it. So that, and so supersessionism is kind of baked in. Yeah. Kind of like you. That's like cool Ben Franklin. We thought he was cool. Okay. How about what was it? I want to get sure my 76-year-old brain starts losing words. Oh, yeah. The doctrine of discovery. Referred this earlier, but it was a real religious doctrine put out by the popes at one point. Anybody know what the doctrine of discovery is?
The doctrine of discovery?
Yes.
I don't see it.
Is it the court case?
No, it's a religious doctrine.
The concept of public intentional. Oh, is that the separatist between court and state, like the religion and state?
No, that's the separation of church and state. That's a different one. The doctrine of discovery came from the 1500s when 1400s and 1500s, when Europeans were beginning to be colonial empire builders. They had ships and could get out and military so they could conquer other lands. And they began to wonder, well, now is this right? Can we do this? So they asked the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pope said, oh, yes.
Yeah, see, yeah.
You can, if you discover it, it's yours. It's also called manifest destiny.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it's rationalized by the creatio ex nihilo. The earth is a fallen earth and needs to be reframed and reformatted according to European ideals of Christianity. It means that we can conquer and capture and extract all of the stuff of wherever we discover. So Columbus, good old Chris Columbus,
Oh,
sailed from
great.
Portugal, but he was Italian. He discovered the Americas. Actually, he never came to North America, but he's thought to be that way, and claimed it for Spain. It was Spain rather,
Now, did,
and immediately became the governor of the East Indies, the West Indies, and started killing people and enslaving people and decimating the populations and turning it, eventually into cotton and into sugarcane mills.
now,
Nice guy.
Columbus.
Good old
Now
Chris.
Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now Columbus supposedly discovered America. He first came over to, was it I can't remember. Is it like Cuba or Hades or something?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. One of the islands. And
Yeah.
he thought he was going to come to China, but he didn't. He came, and then how he discovered it. And well, it was here all along. He
So
didn't.
'cause I think I
He-
remember seeing it, hearing it in I think it's either sociology or it was African history
Mhm.
that he went to Cuba. I think it was Cuba or Haiti instead of
Jamaica, maybe. Yeah.
North America, but he got discovered.
Yep. That's right. But that was that doctrine of discovery
Mhm.
that made all that justifiable. What do you know about color codes?
Um, is it color code is I just got to read it from my other class. Is it I can't get it out of my head at the moment because
Well,
a lot
take
going.
a second, figure it out.
It was something about. I think I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down. And restricting black criminal probably and movement even leadership.
I'm not hearing you. Speak a lot louder.
Is it the black codes? Is it like laws, rules, and restrictions towards blacks, criminals?
Well, that's yeah. There were the laws about that, but there was an actual a charting of the various colors. Basically, in order to justify their capture and enslavement of people, they put together and still have in a lot of places a list of from white at the top to black at the bottom, and then all the colors in between. And the lighter you are, the better you are. And so that they determined that, of course, this was a pure thing, but they determined how they treat people and
Mhm.
according to the color of their skin, which, as we know, is a human decision, not built into the human race. It's not about because people are come from the southern hemisphere and so they're darker and all that crap. And so also probably these people are less loved by God, and we can justify capturing their land and making them slaves, because here's the trick: we can convert them and make them good Christians, even though they were believers in God all along, probably. And then it's okay if they're slaves, because at least they're going to go to heaven. That's the justification for taking persons of color
Mhm.
and enslaving them.
Wow.
I was laying this out one time in a class, and one student said, "That's just crazy." And it is, indeed it is. But that's part of this whole canopy of white supremism that's baked into uh, American culture and white culture. Um,
Well,
Mhm.
Not pleasant stuff for so early on a Wednesday morning. So let me shift and get a little more conversation. It's getting close to being done. So I'm very aware that I'm a white guy. I understand this stuff from inside it, and I'm presenting it as openly and fairly as I know how to. But I need to ask you, what have I missed in presenting this? What makes you uncomfortable in how I've presented this? Or give me some sense of how this is coming across to you, and or some questions you have about it. I want to check in with you about this.
I feel like you have been very, I don't know what the word is. I'm going to say even keel, like informative, of course, receptive, compassionate. I mean, you've done your research. It's not like you said, okay, I'm just going to teach this.
That's true.
You believe it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you've internalized this information and you're spewing it out as if you're one of us.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's good. That's
yeah.
I think it's very helpful. I mean, it makes it a little more easier to understand how the world actually relates to each other, and why certain things happening, and how things. It also gives you a little more insight into how would you approach it
mm-hmm.
to make it better.
You have to be able to see it and understand it in order to make sense of it and to respond to it and change it. In fact, that's right.
Yeah. Well, you lived it, Doc, also, but you also did the research on it. And when you was going to school and going to these other professors, like you said, the Anglo-Saxons or the Europeans wanted to keep everything as white instead of letting it be known as the truth, that a lot of it was established in Africa and Ethiopia and those nations.
Mm-hmm.
That religion, the true religion's color was really based on the brown folks instead of the white folks.
Mm-hmm.
And they color changed.
That's been the discovery of me over the years I've been studying this. Exactly right. Now, I didn't know it before. Coming to teach in a black college helped me to say, oh, I can't teach what I was always taught before. Doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm still learning. So, keep me honest on this. You're the experts in this stuff, not me.
I would have to agree. I feel like you've been very transparent
Yes.
about everything, and it's been very, it's made me be very receptive to
Mm-hmm.
learn it from you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Kia. Good.
I boast about you. When I talk about class and stuff like that, I do.
Thank you. That's nice to have fans.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, almost 4 years ago, when Dr. Brogdon asked me to come and teach at Simmons, I was retired from teaching and really didn't think I'd ever teach again. And it has been a real calling for me.
Dr. Robbins is a good teacher.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Ron Robinson is a great teacher. I really love
Yeah.
him.
Yes, I've had him.
I've learned a lot from him. Yeah, you listen to him. He's good.
Mhm. He is.
He's also a graduate of Louisville Presbyterian Seminary, by the way. All right, so here's the deal. I hope you'll look at the video from Monday. I hope you'll look at the reading, chapter 1 of Kelly Brown Douglas, and my paper on sources of white supremacy. Go back and look at the questions and definitions that are there on the module, and then you have your paper that's due on Friday, the one-page summary of all this, and kind of tell me what you're thinking and let me know how you're working on that. If you haven't gotten your other earlier papers in, I can't remember which of you has and hasn't, but I realized talking to Gary the other day that the Canvas had locked them so that after the due date you can't get into them. That wasn't my intention. I think I've gone back and opened them up for you to be able to get at them. I'm not sure if you're still able to do that on your program or not. If you can't get into submitting it online on Canvas anymore, do the instructions are there, and do it as an email or a Word document and send it to me by email. I don't want you to have zeros on your grade book. So next week, we're going to talk about Islam. Get away from these icky old Christians and start talking about other religions. The study book for that is this little book, World Religions by Michael Keene. Very small, lots of pictures. I like that. And lots of information packed into short periods of space. So not as much reading. I hope you'll dig a little bit and follow up your curiosity and critical thinking about it. So next week, we'll talk about the ideas of God in Islam. Pay particularly attention to Muhammad's story of how he experienced the mystery of transcendence and the story he told himself and how that turned into religion and doctrines in the Muslim religion. Questions on that? All right. Thank you, dear hearts. It's been a wonderful conversation. I will see you next Wednesday.
Doc, stay on the line a little bit longer.
Yeah, okay.
I got to after everybody's gone. I've got a question.
Bye, everybody.
About a
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
thank you. But Doc, you there?
I'm still here.
My question is, did you get my email? Did you get my voicemail yesterday?
No,
And
I didn't. I didn't see there was one. Sorry.
And I sent that on webmail. That one about August the 28th through the 31st or something like that. I did it, but I did it on discussions.
Oh, okay.
The first four questions are done on discussions, and the last question, the one about my experience and when did it happen to me and who did I tell, I put it on the webmail. It's in the webmail, so you should have those.
I will look for that and I'll let you know whether I found it or not.
Because one is in the. I don't know how I put it in discussions. I do that sometimes.
That's amazing.
First,
Okay.
first 4 questions, then the other question is on the webmail. Is in the webmail.
All right.
That's
I will
cool.
look and see if I can find that.
Okay.
If I can't, we'll have to arm wrestle or something.
It seems that way, I guess. You'll win.
No, I'm an old man. Ricky, you got anything else?
No, that's it. That's
You already
it.
got
You
my,
should that one
Okay.
in discussions where I started answering the first 4 questions, and somehow I guess I left out the experience one.
Okay.
It's like a 5-point situation,
I'll check it out.
5 question, and then I put the 5th one, which was yesterday, about the experience. It's in webmail.
I got it. All right. I'll look for it. Great.
Okay, thank you.
you
Have a great day.
You got my assignment because I was having problems submitting some of my assignments.
So you had trouble submitting him, Ricky?
Yeah. Now I emailed it to you. Emailed it to you last time because I was having a problem submitting my work.
Yeah. Let me double check and see what I have and what I don't have, and I'll let you know. I don't remember.
Now I didn't do the white supremacist yet because I'm doing a little more reading on it.
Oh yeah, well that's not due till Friday. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's when I was calling.
I don't remember.
That's when I was calling you about.
Right.
That's when I was calling you that I was having.
Oh yeah. Right. I believe I did get it. I'll double check and let you know for sure. I think I graded it.
Okay, because that's what I was trying to get to it, and it's not allowing me to go into the assignment.
Right.
And I was having a problem with the my other professor. I couldn't even do the quiz. It's not even a due date or nothing.
Oh boy.
And it's not allowing me to take the test. I end up doing an essay. She told me to email it to her.
Yeah.
But it locked me out, and it wasn't even a due date or anything. I still couldn't get into the campus. It's not even a due date, but I ended up emailing my essay to her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She told me to email her to her, but it won't allow me to do any my quiz or nothing. It's not even a due date.
That's obviously that was Dr. Thomas, right? Maxine Thomas. Anyway, she's having the same problem in my eyes. Neither of us realized that unless you made it available beyond the due date, it locks it out. And I didn't know that. I thought since I didn't write it down, it would be okay, but obviously not. So I will double check, and I'm pretty sure I received and graded that email that we talked about last weekend, Ricky, and then
Okay.
I think I've got it all fixed so that you're not locked out of it from now on. I hope. Let me know if it is.
Okay.
And you,
if it doesn't, just email me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. So did Dr. Thomas respond to your email?
Yeah, and she told me, she gave me another assignment. Instead of me doing the quiz that's supposed to be 30 points, I was doing a essay that's worth about 80 points.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be an equivalent of the quiz and everything. So I send the email. I send my work before the due date. Send an email.
Okay.
Of the essay. and right now I'm waiting for a response.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds like a fair exchange, trying to come kind of accommodate what was going on. I'm going to send a note around to faculty members to alert them that this is an issue that's going on. Maybe it'll help. So thank you for helping me understand that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. See you next week, pal. Take care.
I see you.